Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Mark Pires, Renaissance Man.
Okay, people, gather around. The Mark Pires Renaissance Man show. Is he still alive? Wait, hold on. I'm not done. Trying to get to the bottom of this. Number 2. Is he still alive?
He is Dr. Evil.
Why is he still alive, and why did you answer when I was asking number 2? I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. Number 2!
A plan is in the works, Dr. Evil.
This is wonderful news, number 2. Over 1,000 days in a row, we've managed to keep the world from knowing he exists.
Dr. Evil, he's still going and doesn't care.
Well, we need to find another way to stop the show. He's making me look bad, you know? Yeah, no. Perhaps we can make him look like racist or something?
That may work, Dr. Evil.
Perhaps we can get the media to cancel him?
This is your best idea yet, Dr. Evil.
Okay, number 2. Get me Dr. Fauci.
Dr. Evil. Dr. Fauci is on the evil monitor.
Thank you, number 2. Dr. Fauci.
Dr. Evil. It's Dr. Fauci.
Well, Dr. Fauci. It looks like the gig is up. The Renaissance Man show knows all about you.
Yeah, look, they created a character after me. We gotta squash him like the friggin' mouse that he is. He calls me a weasel, Fauci. I'm not a weasel, okay? I'm not a doctor. I'm Dr. Fauci, okay? Don't call me Dr. Weasel Fauci, okay? Because that's anecdotal.
Anecdotal Fauci. That's what they're always making fun of you about. That you're always anecdotal.
No, I know. It's like I said, that everything's anecdotal.
Excellent. Dr. Fauci, initiate the final plan.
They never even asked you. Welcome, family and friends, to the Mark Pires Renaissance Man Show. We are live every single day of the year for unscripted live comedy, songwriting in the moment, and total inspiration. So join us on a tour of some of the accomplishments and content created in the first 1,000 days and counting of Renaissance Man. So far in 2021, 12 albums and 156 songs have been released into the world. But we're not even close to done yet, fam. My plan is to put an album out every month for the rest of my days, as well as show up for you every single night. I've created 3 feature films this year: Batmark vs. Supermark, Three's Company the Breakup Artist, and A Christmas Story. Within these comedies, many original characters have surfaced. You know, we have Batmark Dick Face, which he doesn't look like this really, but that's Foch. And then of course Supermark, who's pretty freaking super if you ask me, just saying. Hammerlin Jameson's a bit of a drunkard, and he tried to get the role of Supermark. It didn't go well. He does all right at a side gig of, newscaster situation. But you can see in that top photo, he's not doing too well these days. Anyway. Dr. Wayne Doppler, tallest man alive, 8'9", Guinness, and he's also in the Batmark and Supermark movie. And Dr. Weasel Fauci, if you don't know who he is, wear 5,647 masks, especially if you're going to Mars. Stuck on Mars. I will be making a movie out of that. Sid 45, make sure you don't get rupees. Sid has rupees literally pouring out of his igloo. Francesco Vigilughi. Look, if you ever need a cartographer, there's just one guy. The Curious Case of Ben Affleck Head. It's about a guy with a head so large, he could literally change the poles. Oh, Dystopia 2021. If you missed that, that's the world we're living in today. If you haven't seen it, I did a couple episodes on it. BB Poo Poo. Don't forget we did 3 cryptos this year. BB Poo Poo, Pee Pee Poo Poo, and of course, Shibbity Bibbity Boo. But it almost was wrecked because of the original Shick Shiggity Boo Boo. Well, look, people are still on the fence, Things were pretty bad for BB Poo Poo at the beginning. And of course, we have many episodes of Spider-Mark, Peter Marker. If you didn't know, check it out. Mark Pires of the Caribbean. That was a hilarious movie. And then if you can't dance, you just, watch this episode. There's 2 of them. Really good stuff. And did you watch Match Game? I did it. And Pressure Luck in it. We did a little Pressure Luck style too, Peter DeMarkin. And if you didn't see Waterworld 2027, I'm the last one left because of the Bugaboo. We did many other homages to movies and TV shows and Pache Mulder.
Sonny, you still got the cough?
There are over 100 insane scenes with Dick Pache. And then of course I saved the world, saved all the animals and stuff too. Zuckerchooch, Donald Trump Show, make sure you check that out. And we did a couple of raps over the last year. You may not want to miss those.
Trump, Biden, and Christopher Walken rapping?
Yeah. Back to the Future, Mark. Guys, the next movie that's coming out, Back to the Future, Mark. You may not remember some of the characters that I was in the past, so let's just go over it in real time. Mark says, I did it. 10 Commandments. Mark Stradamus, telling the future, of course. Oh, and the artwork I created as Leo Marco da Vinci. The Mona Lisa, when I got that freaking red, like murdering a family. That was what O.J. Simpson of the 1600s. Hey, Michelangelo, after you finish that, sculpture, you think you could paint this ceiling? Got it. Circumnavigating the globe is Mark Jellin. Markola Tesla? If I didn't do my time here as Markola, you guys would have nothing when it comes to electricity. I still can't believe it. I'm sitting there, I'm writing the Fur Elise, right? I'm in the middle of it. And they're scratching it out and they're writing freaking that hack Beethoven's name on it, right? Don't even get me started on what they did when I was Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Doing the fifth and taking all that work. And then, like modern days, when I'm doing Mark and M, doing the 8 Mile situation. Mark and M's the man now, but what I paved the way is the Marktorious B.I.G. as well. When I was Mark Claude Van Damme, I remember that one.
Oh, Mark Schwarzenegger? You didn't know I was Mark Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, that was funny when I worked next to DeVito. The Emancipation Marklamation of 1863. I did my time as Abraham Mark Lincoln.
You guys didn't know I was Abraham Mark? You guys are all Mark Della.
That's why this is all part of the Mark Della effect. Everybody's like, Mandela, man. No, it's Mark Della. Get with it. And then the time I was Mark Guyver, remember, you give me a friggin' toothpick and some tooth floss and we're off. I'm building a bomb. So that's just a good overview of a lot of the shows, not all of them. We have tons of new gear up on the website, guys, markpires.com. In there you can pick up your gear, you can pick up a signed CD, and also don't forget about beatseat.rocks, my invention that I patented. This is her sitting on it. And this is a little demo I made. Welcome to BeatSeat.rocks. My name is Mark Pires, and I'm the inventor of the Beat Seat. Today I'm going to share all of the details of the Beat Seat. It's the ultimate percussion drum. You can play it with your hands and feet while sitting completely upright. It's got 4 playable panels, omnitone. Everywhere you hit it sounds different. It's the first drum you could sit completely upright and play with your hands and feet at the same time. It's the Beat Seat. It's the only drum that you could play with your hands and feet while sitting completely upright. Anything you'd play in a drum kit, you could play on this, because you're playing with your entire body, but you're sitting upright. Your feet do this. So that's the Beat Seat, the ultimate percussion drum. You can play it with your hands, with your feet at the same time. It has unlimited tones. There's so much to explore. I hope to build one for you. Have a great day. Thank you for watching. And of course, fam, I can't leave you without a little bit of motivation. So take these quotes with you as we get ready to rock for one more night. And yes, we will be doing it again tomorrow. So, until I see you in just a moment, it's Mark Pires. And it's Renaissance Man.
wind starts blowing, I'm going to find a way. Some night when the world stops hating, we're going to find a way.
Ticket tickets are available at the box office. Thanks for helping us keep the theater clean. As you exit the auditorium, please deposit litter in trash receptacles in the lobby. Please be considerate and don't talk during the show.
Thank you for coming to Lowe's. Sit back and relax. Enjoy the show.
It is Wednesday. It's Mark Pires.
I was walking down the
And
road today,
it's Renaissance Man.
another way.
I'm here
Ease my
to
mind and help
ease
my
my mind and help my living. It's Renaissance Man. It's the daily variety show, Mark Pires, Renaissance Man. I'm here to connect with you, to amplify your current state, and I'm here with you on day 1,150 in a row of the Renaissance Man Show. That's 1,150 days in a row of positivity, live creation, in the moment, no script for 2+ hours. The longest running variety show on planet Earth. And we are just getting going. I hear we're now officially in a world war. I just saw a couple of messages come through from Jeffrey in the Telegram. If you haven't joined our Telegram yet, you should get in there, because we get messages from Jeffrey, get messages from S-Coop. I'm putting in little shorts that I drop all day long so you know when I'm dropping stuff, because YouTube won't let you know. And we're doing it, all right? But look, this show's about shutting off the negative world. The negative world is so infectious. It continues to drive until you have no choice but to pay attention to it. What you do when you pay attention to it is you distract yourself from this moment. This moment is what they're trying to get you away from. It is the only thing that matters. So let's get to it together. Let's shut off the clock for a few hours here, and let's have a great time together like we do every single night. Tonight is an extra special night because I found my Bible from 1775. This Bible is unbelievable. It says Prince James in it. We're all like, the King James Version. I got a Prince James Version. So we're going to, instead of talking about Ukraine, instead of talking about Russia, in the of Putin, I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to put in a missile and shoot it over to Ukraine. No, we're not doing that, Putin, okay? We're not doing a Ukraine missile sitch. We're here doing a 1775 Bible deal. So, Zabras, can I get into it? This is a good story I'm about to tell you about this friggin' Bible. You need to know how it came into my possession, but more importantly, who owned this Bible. When you find out who owned this Bible and how it connects to this show, I think it's going to give you chills like it gave me chills. Didn't even realize it. I've had it in my possession for, let's say, 8 years now. And I've looked at it a few times. I've seen what's in here, and there's something I'm going to show you. And this is where I started to go down a rabbit hole today, and I found out some information about the owner. And if you're here on YouTube, you already know what the answer is to that. But if you're joining us here on TikTok for the first time, hit that like, smash the screen. The more you do that, the more people will join us. I'm live every day for the rest of my life. This has been 1,150 days in a row of getting together and just trying to just see if we could do something. It's hard enough when you got freaking Joanne back there wheezing, and you know Zabroska's about to kill it with a woohoo. Zabroski, let me get a woohoo! Something to live for! Let me get a woohoo! Zabroski, yeah. Woohoo! Guys! Right? I'm here. Got a woohoo! I'm doing better. I'm ready to get into it. I'm ready to share the story about the Bible, okay? So hopefully family members join and they can catch up. If anybody asks what the story is, I'll try to go back if I need to. Boeing, how are you, my friend? Was that Bible printed by Alexander Kincaid? We're going to get to that in a moment. We'll take a look at the first couple pages as we go through it. In fact, let me just take a a hold of it so we can just have it in hand here. So this is the Bible that I'm speaking of, and unfortunately the cover it came to me this way. The cover had some old tape on it that was barely holding it together. I probably would try to stitch it just to keep it as original. But anyway, I've had this for 8 years, and I'm a real estate agent. I'm not sure how often I talk about that on this show. I really don't talk about it very much, but that's how I do make a living. So if you ever do need any assistance for real estate anywhere in this world, make sure you think about me. But here's the bigger picture. I'm selling a house in my town called New Canaan. Really beat up old place. This guy was kind of a hoarder. And he had a lot of instruments. I walked through the first time when I was trying to get the listing. I remember I'm speaking to Peter, the owner. And I said, Peter, your father was a musician? He said, yeah, he played a bunch of instruments. And he had like 5 violins. He had a bunch of clarinets and a vibraphone, which I have upstairs. And so I'm there. I sell the house. I get it sold after about a month. And as we're figuring out what to do next steps, I said, well, what are we doing with the contents of the house? Are you guys coming through to take all the belongings out? And in my mind, I'm thinking, like, are you coming to get the instruments I pointed out when I first met you? Like, in my mind, I'm like, hey, I came down. And I was like, you got these great instruments here, and are you going to sell them? I was really thinking I'll buy them from him, And he said, we're just going to have somebody come in and donate everything, or just get rid of it, And I said, what? And I said, what about the instruments that, I'm a singer-songwriter. Do you mind if can I buy those instruments from you? He goes, no, go and take whatever you want. I was like, are you serious? And I knew I already saw, it's like a bunch of violins and some, and I'm like, I don't have any violins at this time. And so I said, are you sure? He said, yeah, go take whatever you want from that room. It was his own private little music room. And in there was stacks of books and boxes of books. And within that stack and in those boxes, I come across 3 books. One of them's a German book from 1802. The other one is a tiny little pamphlet, like a small little booklet that says Civil War Prayers and Psalms book. Really small, like this big, and you kept it in your pocket. So when you're out there praying, you could look through your Civil War Psalms and Prayers book. I got that somewhere I have to find. But this one is very hard for me to lose. I got a lot of stuff in my studio, but I always know where this thing is. I just haven't looked at it in a long time. Until today. I took it out this morning. And to get back to it, I'm talking to Peter, and he's like, yeah, take everything. I clear out the house. I look at this thing. I'm like, whoa, 1775. It's got to be worth something. And I called him. I said, there's a lot of things here. You sure you don't want any of this stuff? Because I don't care. We're going to literally sell it all. We're going to get rid of it. Not sell it. We're going to donate it all. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm considered a donation. I'm a real estate agent who sells properties. And sometimes I do come across instruments and people don't know what to do with them. And they give them to me. And that's great because I'll use them. I will use those instruments. The most important thing in life is this. If you have something that you're not using and somebody will use it, give it to them. Why would you, when you have the opportunity to share some joy with another because you own something you don't even use and somebody would just relish the opportunity to play with it, give it to them. You can't take it with you. You don't even want it. Yeah, you spend money on it, but you know what? Donate what you spend money on that you care not for to somebody who literally thinks it's the world. And as a guy who just was married for a year or two and I'm selling real estate in my suit every single day, I show up to this place every day, meet people for a month and a half till I sell it. And I'm there in that place at the end in my suit, going through boxes, looking through books to see if there's anything there that looks cool to me. And I don't know anything about books, but I'm looking for anything old. And I come across this book. And I start looking into it. Pages come out, And when you get to the first actual page, because the first 3 or 4 pages are all blank, you know why? They used to write personal information in those first couple pages about their families. This one's a little different. I'll get to that. So I get to the first actual page, and I get to this really nice for 1775, like kind of stenciled. It must have been at some sort of like, it probably was a really beautiful sketch or what do they call that? Lithograph back in the day of, and I'm losing that here on TikTok, but it's just like a picture, I think, of Peter at the, Yeah, it's Peter at the gates of heaven, and it's really kind of cool to see that, you know. But the more important thing is when you get over to this page right here, you start seeing things that are very interesting, like the Holy Bible containing the Old and New Testaments. And you see how they use the F instead of the T's. That's everywhere. That's just the way it was. Translated out of the original tongues and with the former translations diligently compared and revived by His Majesty special command, appointed to be read in churches and Cambridge. Okay, here's who's printed it. Printed by John Archdeacon, printer of the university, and fold by John Beecroft, John Rivington, Benjamin White, and Edward Dilly in London, and T.J. Merrill in Cambridge, 1775. So, I'm sitting here with a Bible from 1775 in my hand inside this house I just sold, and I'm so excited because I think to myself, wow, this must be worth a fortune. Well, I quickly looked at it. The old Bibles are not that expensive. You can buy like an old, a Bible from London, from England, or from Cambridge. They're $50, $80, something like that. You got one from the United States, and it's worth a fortune. Now, provenance is something, is it not? Provenance means something, somewhere it comes from, who owned it. And when you start looking into this Bible, there's a hidden secret that only if you spend the time to look, you will find. And I found out who owns this Bible. And I found out who that Bible, what that represented to that person, this Bible, what it represented, and what it represents to me in the same moment. So I'm going to just fast forward through so we could talk about this. If you go forward to the New Testament, you get to the New Testament, and over here on this side, look at this. And this is commonplace for back in the day because they didn't know where to put any information about themselves. This right here, if you could see that, is the birth records of Stephen Howell, Eunice Howell. Stephen and Eunice Howell were married in 1773. Silas Howell, Lewis Howell, and Stephen Howell were all born in 1778. 6 and 84, okay? 73, 86, 84. Listen, whatever it was. So this is a birth record of a family that I assumed was from England because Cambridge, right? This is printed in Cambridge. It's from 1775. There's not too many people that are just jumping on a plane in 1775, Mark, and be like, I'm going to go to the United States of America with this Bible, you know? So, who is Stephen Howell, born October 23rd, 1744? And by the way, I want to point out something too. This right here with the New Testament. So the Old Testament was printed in 1775. The New Testament was printed in 1776. This was printed during the American Revolution when we signed the independence. What was it? The Declaration of Independence. Was that when we did it in 1776? Someone tell me if that's right. This is printed in the same year as our independence was fought for and won. This Bible. So let's get into who Stephen Howell is. You may have just quickly done a Google search to figure that out based on the years I just told you. If you type those dates in August 23rd, 1744, and you write in Stephen Howell, you know what comes up? What comes up is that this book, this Bible, was owned by a captain in the American Revolution who decided to say to his loyalty to Britain and stand by George Washington and fight for the freedom of this country. I have the Bible of a man who fought for the freedom and won the freedom of this country. So I start thinking about parallels. Freedom fighter against all odds. Standing up against the evil of the world to do what's right. Freedom fighter. American Revolution. One of the first, it says. In fact, let me read exactly what it says about Stephen, because I was honored to hear that I have his Bible. After I read this, everything starts to come into picture a little bit differently, and I'll explain that. So, Stephen Howell, August 23, 1744. This is crazy to me that this is like 300 years ago. Here we go. Billion Graves record. Okay? Just take a listen to this real quick. Stephen Howell is buried. Oh my goodness, guys. This is like a freaking joke. It has to be, right? Tell me this is a joke. Do you guys know where he's buried? He's buried in Sag Harbor, Suffolk, New York. Yeah, he got Suffolked. We just did that bit. Stephen Howell, the owner of the Bible. Suffolk, New York, Oakland Cemetery. Okay, here we go. This is the headstone description for Stephen Howell from 1744, the same person who signed his name in this Bible, the one that I have here with his family. Stephen Howell was a native of Southampton, Long Island. An American Whig, he took an early and decided stand for his country at the commencement of the Revolutionary War. He entered the army as a soldier in the Battle of Long Island. August 26, 1776, he shared the suffering and honor of that gloomy day. In the successful and memorable retreat of the American army under General Washington, in the face of an overwhelming and victorious army, and to the end of the revolutionary struggle, was identified with the American cause, returning peace, found him among the first revive the prostrate enterprise of this country. He engaged in the whale fishery from his port in 1785 and one of the founders of that extensive and successful business, which for a long period characterized and distinguished his native town. He was a captain, Continental Line in the American Revolutionary War. I'm honored, sir. I hope you rest in peace. But I'm thankful for you, for your service, and for the freedom that you secured, and that freedom for which I've been fighting for 1,150 days. This Bible, is in the possession of the one guy who's been showing up for 1,150 days to try to save this freaking world? It just so happens to belong to a Revolutionary War hero who fought for the freedom that I'm so freaking hard fighting for every single day by writing songs that remind you where the truth is. Maybe this is what gives me some source of strength without even knowing it. I don't know. But this is in my possession for the last 8 years, and I took on the mission of showing up every day to fight back against this injustice. The lies, the rhetoric, the narrative they continue to push on each and every one of us. Our freedom will not be forgotten, and we will not give it up. I will not let this man's sacrifices go in vain. He fought, gave his life. He didn't lose it, but he gave his life for this freedom of this country. And there are many of you out there, I'm not speaking to any of you specifically, but there are many out there who would just willingly give up their freedoms in a drop of a friggin' hat. Fight for them. Do not give them up. This man fought for it, secured it. You don't give up something like freedom. You don't get it back. Stephen Howell. God bless you, sir. God bless you. Could be in anybody's possession. This man's Bible. It's almost like having George Washington's Bible. He's fought alongside George Washington. When he heard the Revolutionary War commencement, he stood up and said, I'm in.
when I could hear the hatred and division of this world, I said I'm in. And sometimes it's a battle you don't think you can freaking get anywhere in. You can't make a dent. You can't be successful against an army that big. Do you fold? Do you give up? Do you quit? Or do you show up and you still give it all you got? That's why our missions are the same. 300, 250, 260 years apart. Refuse to allow my freedom to be given or taken away from me. And if you are willing to lose your freedom, you are already lost. This is the one thing they can't take from you, and if you let it happen, there's no turning back. It's the one thing I know about the people in charge. Once they get something, they never give it back. So fight with all you got, because this is the war. It's not Ukraine. It's not Russia. That is a war. But the real war is for us. The real war is for our complete and total correction. We're a correction to them. Right now we have too much power, but they know if we keep dividing them, then we can push wars on them. We can create wars between them. This is what happens. It's a society-driven civil war that's pampered by all of these massive corporations that run the media. And then what baffles me most is that they'll spend 150 grand on some really jazzy looking commercial, and they'll say things like, "We support your cause." And then everybody who's out there with whatever cause it is are like, "Oh, we love that company because they support our cause." But that freaking company is the one that put you in this position that we're all in. They're creating the inequality that you want to call all of this social engineering, re-engineering. It's all happening the same way that Rome happened. My friend in high school used to say, one day the United States is going to fall. I said, what are you talking about? Don't ever say that. He goes, it's true. He goes, every single civilization that ever existed in the history of time has fallen. And I said, I get it. Disciple John, my brother. Bible from 1775. Done it. But every civilization has fallen. Nobody's ever lasted. They all topple at some point. And the only one I guess I would say is, has China always remained? Has China always been there? Does anybody know? I know they've always had emperors and different rulers. So has that China always been just China and it's never switched hands? Does anybody know that? They have a year of 5,684 or something like that, right? Yeah, John, it's so crazy. This Bible is ridiculously old. And there's a lot of crazy things. There's a lot of crazy things going on in that Bible. The tribulation just kicked up a couple notches tonight. Man, I'll tell you, it's scary what's going on out there. But remember, here's what needs to happen. We need to globally start believing there's no war. Let's stop the war. There is no war. Because this becomes a consensus play. If we all believe that we're going to war, we're going to freaking war. But if we say, no, we're not going to war, this is ridiculous. Let's start loving. Let's start connecting. Let's forget about all the darkness in the world. Let's remember that we're here to do something together and it's not fight. It baffles me that we continue to talk about the 3 or 4 subjects that we know are going to divide us when there's billions of things we can talk about and smile over. No. Let's talk about religion, politics, and money. Or gender. What the... Are you kidding me?
Let's talk about sports. Let's talk about a book you liked. Let's talk about anything but those 4 subjects. When I was growing up, my parents said you never talk about religion, politics, or money when you're at a cocktail party. We were at the cocktail party of life here. TikTok, freaking on YouTube, on every platform we are. We're doing it right in the middle of the dinner party of life, and all we're talking about is the topics we should never be talking about. And so I implore people who are on any of these platforms, when you're out there and you're going to do a live, don't do the let me trigger somebody live. Put something up above your head that's going to give some hope. You know what I put above my head on TikTok typically, but I put this cool Renaissance background because we're doing the 1775 Bible tonight. I typically have a thing that tells everybody I've been here for 1,150 days in a row, just hoping you find what I'm doing here, which is just bringing a positive platform for us to hang out together every night. We write songs live in the moment. We create comedy live in the moment. And then we do stuff like this whenever the moment takes us, because there is no script. Right now I have 7 stories for you. I want to get into some music too. We have a lot of stuff to do. So, and then I wanted to get into the Bible a little, but that's really, I tagged our brother Brian Stavely to see if maybe he'd pop on and talk about some of the things from the Mandela effect that he knows about old Bibles that we can try to fact check. But I'm not sure if he saw that. You do have some vintage biblical books. I'll tell you what, I'd like to actually I'd find some more of the original texts of the books that were taken out of the Bible, you know, and to see the original texts of those, not the ones that have been translated, whatever, which way, because I think there was something like 70 books that they took out of the Bible originally. Like, wouldn't you want to be an ant on the wall in the Council of Nicaea and just be like, hold on, why are you taking that book out? Oh, because it makes Jesus look human. Oh, but wasn't he? No, but he was also the Spirit and then also the God, and only one God in the history of time that was a human. Okay, or was Jesus actually saying to everybody that we're all God, that we're all connected to God, and the way to God is the way, the truth, and the light is through me, is what he was saying. Anybody ever thought about that? When someone says that, like they're saying it in Aramaic, potentially what they're saying to a big crowd is the only way to God is the truth, the way, and the light. It's the only way to heaven is through me. It's through my heart. It's through your heart. Anybody ever thought? No, you guys never thought of. No, oh, okay. You took your own narrative. You decided to say that he's the one God in the history of time. You never thought about that. Perhaps he was trying to say that we all are a piece of God, and together we become God. If we can all connect, and we can say, you know what? Our religious differences mean nothing. We connect on an energy level. Nobody wants to talk about it. Energy level? What are we talking about? If I am thinking and believing in whatever the Lord is that to me, or whatever you call Buddha, Allah, Krishna, whatever your God is, your Savior is, and who your deity is, or whatever you want to call it, you get to an energy level when you are praying or when you are connecting to that spirit, to that faith. Guess what? That's what everybody else is doing. So let's stop, judging people for who they say their whatever is, because we're all just connecting on an energy level that is beautiful and full of love. And let's just do that. Oh, you believe it? That's great. You know what? How do you feel when you're connecting to Gigi Boo Boo? You feel great? Me too. Sometimes I'm doing it. I'm just connecting. It's not maybe it's not the same as when you're connecting to Gigi Boo Boo, but when I'm doing it, I'm connecting. I'm feeling an energy. I'm feeling a vibe. Tell me, what is Gigi Boo Boo like? What is Gigi Boo Boo about? Is it close to what Jesus does? Oh, Gigi Boo Boo makes you only wear sandals, even in snow. It's a weird religion, But you feel great when you're believing in Gigi Boo Boo. That is what's important. And my friend, I wanted you to know something. When I'm not believing and connecting with Gigi Boo Boo, but I'm connecting with my God, with my spirit of the universe, I'm feeling the same as you are on the Gigi Boo Boo tip, You're doing it, Gigi Boo Boo, Oh no, BB Poo Poo is a Bitcoin. It's a different type of coin that you can buy in the crypto market. You can check that out on the Wolf of Crypto. It's on my YouTube. But guys, when you're doing it and you get a Bible from 1775, and it says freaking Prince, we'll get to that part. So when you open up the first page of this Bible, you saw, but look at this. It says, all right, look at this, guys. The Most High and Mighty Prince James, guys. What? I think someone said that, well, that was just his title, but it says Prince James in there. That's pretty cool. And so it says, the Most High and Mighty Prince James, by the grace of God, King of Britain, King of Great Britain, France, and Ireland, defender of the faith of God. The translators of the Bible with grace, mercy, and peace through Jesus Christ our Lord and Savior. By Menon. What did they put that by Menon in there? They shouldn't have done that back in this printing. Shouldn't have had by Menon in it. That wasn't even. They weren't even on the map yet. Joanne, was by Menon on the map yet? 1775. Were they doing it? Like, was it a Cambridge thing? Was that where by Menon started? Look it up. Give me a little breakdown on that. Google. No. Don't do Google. Give me a DuckDuckGo. Yeah. No, duck, and stop your friggin' wheezing. Doing the Bible. Guys, Prince, right? Now look at this. This is crazy. We get to the first page. This is what we call the Genesis story, Joanne. Look at this. The first book of Moses called Genesis. How cool, right? Doing it. Now, we should just take a quick gander through because I have not looked through all the pages and see if there's any like old school dollar bills. They may have kept their dollar bills in here from the 1700s. I didn't look for that. No dollar bills so far. I bet you each one of these is worth a dollar bill, like each page. Come on. Now I should do the pixel thing where you got like a when you're doing it. Oh, look, he's did a, hangman. Okay, let's see. This one over here has something. You guys know about the New Testament. Is there anything in here I should be reading in order to give you an idea on what is actually going down? Ooh, there's an index here, guys. What's this about? What's the index about? I've never heard of an index after the Bible. Hold on. Hold on. To the second table of measures and surface described by Moses, hewing the method of reducing them by calculation to the measures used in England for the benefit of that understand decimal arithmetic. Let's see what this is. I shall begin with reduction of the measures of the mercy feet, which was God's throne of grace among the Jews. Moses in Exodus 25:17 affirms that its length was 2 cubits and a half. Its breadth was 1 cubit and a half. The fractions adhering to its length and breadth make for some difficulty to beginners in arithmetic. Guys, Moses was a math genius, apparently. Which the decimal made doth much abate. Supposing, therefore, what it have elsewhere proved, that the 12th cubit was in foot measure 1 by 824, the length must be expressed in foot measure, and decimals thereof 4 by 560. The breadth of its measure was 2 by 736, whereas the product of the numbers multiplied into each other gives its surface 12 by 47,616 in the number of square feet. Holy freaking cow. What is this that he's even discussing? Measures and weights and coins, calculating the measures of surface, hitherto wanting the treatise of the subject by the Right Reverend Richard Lord Bishop of Peterborough. He's the Bishop of Peterborough, 1775. Maybe the Ark. Ooh, that's a good point. It could be the Ark that he's talking about because he said something about a ridiculous amount. He said 47,000 square feet. Hold on. Squared. Hold on. This was... we must multiply 47,616 by 144,000, the square inches of a foot. And then the product will be 68 divided by 56 or multiply. I'm not sure. I think it's divided by 56,704, which shows that the decimals which we found amount to 68 square inches and about, I don't know what the hell he's talking about here. I'm not hell. I'm just saying, I don't know what he's talking about here. There's a lot of different measurements here that I don't know what Moses was getting into, but he may have been getting into the ark here, or how the ark was built and the size of the ark. This guy was a math genius, though. He's laying out all these statistics of what. So did Moses write this? Like, that's the thing, is how the heck, or was this just some math dude who was like a religious guy back then? So index to the Holy Bible. What would be in the index to the Holy Bible, guys? We got to look at this. The 6th age index. Gosh. By Nebuchadnezzar into Babylon are now dismissed and then back again by Cyrus. In the 2nd year after the return from Babylon, in the 2nd month, they appoint Levites to oversee the work of the house of God and lay the foundation of the temple. And old men lamenting who 50 years before had seen the old temple standing, and the younger fort rejoicing to it a new one going up. The Samaritans, by the means of certain courtiers about Cyrus, whom they had bribed for their purpose, disturbed the Jews in their work of the temple. In the beginning of the reign of Artaxerxes, Joanne, roll me back in the teleprompter on that one. In the beginning of the reign of Artaxerxes, the Samaritans who, whilst Cyrus lived in secretly undermined the Jews, now openly frame. And why do they say the word Jews all the time? It's like every 5 seconds here. It's a little much. You know what I mean? That Malachi left in the prophets of a contemporary of Nehemiah appears from hence that there were no exhorts of the people building the temple. Guys, there's some crazy stuff here. I don't think this is normal stuff for the Bible. This is excerpts. And it's long. Hold on. There's a general epitaph from Jude. Is that anything? Is that usually in there? Okay, we got Revelation, and then after Revelation, ooh, guys, listen to this. An index of the Holy Bible, or an account of the most remarkable passages in the books of the Old and New Testament, pointing to the time wherein they happened and the places of Scripture wherein they were recorded. Here we go. I'm going to just go over some of this real quick. This is the page. I want you to see it. 1775 Bible. This is from 1776, though. This is the New Testament. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, and the last of man after his own image. Man falls from his first state, but is promised a savior of the feed of the woman. The world first peopled after Adam and Eve had left paradise. After about this time, Cain and Abel offer sacrifice, and Abel is murdered by his brother. Seth born, Enos born. About this time, men begin to call upon the name of the Lord. Canaan born, Mahalalel born, Jared born, Enoch, the 7th from Adam born, and Methuselah. What's that, Joanne? Methuselah was born, Joanne. And Lamech, the father of Noah, he was born, and Adam dieth, aged 930 years. Adam dieth at 930? Joanne, how are they measuring time back then? Let's see. Let's just see if maybe this is just, they just measure time differently back then. Like every month was a year, maybe, right? What's 12 divided by 910? We're talking about 9 years. That didn't work. 90 years. No, that actually does work. Hold on. Hold on. So let's see if we can calculate this. Anybody? Joanne, can you do a calculator on that one for me? You got 900. You get 912 years, 930 years divided by 12. Somebody do that math over here in the window because Joanne stinks at math. She already gave me the wrong number. No, Joanne, absolutely. I don't think you're right at all. No, it's not even close to 714. She's so stupid, guys. She can't even do math, you know. I ask her to do the math, to give me the calculation of 930 divided by 12. It's very simple. I'm going to just carry it over, that's 30, and then the 9, and then you got it, and you're talking about 33 about. If it's 33, it's not 33, but if it was, that would be pretty crazy. 33-degree Mason. He could be the first 33-degree Mason. We may have just to figure that out here on the Resident Video. 77.5. Is it really 77.5? Oh my goodness. Okay, so it's 900. Oh, so he's 77.5 years old. It works. My math works. Every month, they figured it was a year. You made it to another month. You're good, dude. You are still here. You didn't get eaten, by the dinosaur, Canaan dieth at age 910 years old. Mahalalel, the fifth from Adam, dieth at 895 years old. Jared, the sixth from Adam, he died at 962 years old. Who was the oldest? Did anybody get into the thousands over here? Let's see, I'm looking. It looks like everybody's in the 950 range. Noah dieth at 950. 350 years after the flood. Mankind was not created to ever know death, bro. You're right, JB. I appreciate you on that one because you're right. Look, guys, Noah lived to 950 years. But what is 12 divided by 350, guys? I could do that one. That's 3 years. So Noah died 3 years, roughly. 2 years and 9 months, 2 years and 10 months after the flood. If we're doing the math right, people didn't live 900 years. So what they did is they did math stupid. And they were like, oh, every month you're still here. Good for you. You're alive. Another month, another year. Happy birthday. They had a freaking birthday cake every month for Noah. Imagine making 950 birthday cakes. Sometimes he didn't even appreciate it. He was a jerk about it. I don't feel like a birthday cake this year. You guys can bring me to the zoo. There's a lady, Joanne, that she has a, Cara Zoo. I'm up for that. 2 years, 10 months after Noah and the flood, he passed away. Okay, so Abram was 75 years old of age when his father Terah died of 205 years. So let's just quickly do the math on that. 75 years divided by 12 would mean he was 7 years old, right? I'll call it 6 years old. Okay, he was 6.5 years old. 205 years divided by 12 is roughly, 18? Someone do the math on that. 205 divided by 12. You're talking about roughly, I think, 18, okay? And if that's the case, so that makes sense. Kids, they had a lot of, that he wouldn't be, he'd have to be older than that. Someone tell me he's older than that. He has to be like 27. He's got to be like 27 or else it doesn't work. 205 divided by 10 would be 20. So it's pretty close to that. He's at 18. They wouldn't have kids at 12. You know what I mean? This kid's 6. It's all 6s. That one's all 6s. 12 divided by 75 is all 6s. Divided by 205. Who's got that one? We need a little 12 divided by 205 to figure out what this Bible is saying here. I'm pretty sure that's how they did their math back then. It was monthly. You had a birthday. Every month? Yep. 17. So that means he had the baby at 11. I don't think it's that way then, guys. Maybe it's just stupid math. They're like, you're 205. What? maybe, So they have lots of different pieces from the Bible. That's what this is. This is different segments that they consider to be very powerful moments from the Bible in the Old and the New Testament. That's what this index is. Interesting. So, guys, very cool stuff. Like Revelation, I don't know if there's anything that changed in this. If Mandela, anything, if there was anything from Revelation that was changed. But we can always look into that in the future. Thank you, Jim, for doing the math, by the way. You rock, brother. Let's see, Joanne, if we can get into the news. What do we got today? Oh, Joanne, we already did this story. You want me to do it again? Oh, Joanne says that there's more. There's an update. All right, Joanne, take it easy back there. Stop your freaking wheezing. It's like, she's there. I'm here doing the news. There really is no reason at this point to think the object is anything other than the Chang's 5T1 booster. That's what someone's saying, right? But the moon mystery, who launched the rocket that will slam into the lunar far side? There's an ongoing saga about the object that will smash into the far side of the moon early next month. Pink Floyd has sent it, I think. What the hell? Will you stop making noise? I don't need to hear from you, okay? First thought is to be an upper stage of the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket that launched from Discover Earth observation spacecraft in February 2015. It was then tagged as a leftover from the launch of China's Chang'e 5T1 lunar mission in 2014. And I had a part in that. I'm Ty Lopez. Ty Lopez did the press briefing, and I said, it's February 22nd. All you have to do is give me all your money, and I'll make money. However, China's foreign ministry spokesperson Wang Wenbin, Joanne Wang Wenbin, where has she been? Right? Wang Wenbin, Wang Wenbin, Wang Wenbin. I'm here. I'm doing it. Wang Bin. It's like you want to be a Wang, going out there wanging it up. I get it in a way. You're a wangity doo-doo. You did a wangity diggity doo-doo. And I'm just here trying to figure out, is it always going to be that way with you? Are we always going to be Wenbin? You know what I mean? When are we Wenbin? Where you been? Wenbin, where you been? You know what I mean? Doing it with you over here. I can't help it that your name is friggin' Wang Wenbin. Where you been? Wenbin's been somewhere besides the friggin' moon. But listen, you gotta make sure you don't have an issue with your Wang Wenbin. Sometime anyways, you're doing it, and you got a Wang Wenbin. Oh, wait, what did Wang Wenbin say? I don't know. We're looking at their friggin' wing, and then they went, oh, where did Wenbin? I have no idea. Makes no sense. Wenbin? I don't know. Joanne Wenbin. I know it's stupid. That's the whole point of it. She's like, that's stupid, Mark. Don't critique, okay, Joanne? You're back there with the humongocarditis. Anyway, but the person who led the discovery in the coming lunar orbit, Wang Wenbin, which is predicted to occur on the far side of March 4th, isn't buying China's claim. Wanger for short, Bradley says. Wanger, you may be right. Wanger Wenbin. Wenbin Wanger. Wenbin Wanger. Wang Wenbin. I don't know. We're working with that one. There really is no reason at this point to think the object is anything other than the Chang'e 5T1 booster that I did as Ty Lopez. Bill Gray, who manages the Project Pluto software used to track near-Earth objects. Joanne, stop telepromptering me. I'm here doing it. And you're going to teleprompt me? I got to get the words out. Bill Gray, who manages the Project Pluto software used to track near-Earth objects, told Outer Space, anybody claiming otherwise has a pretty large hill of evidence to overcome. Yeah, I gotta say that different, Joanne. Joanne, what do you think we're doing over here with the claims from outer space, Anybody claiming that otherwise has a pretty hard and large hill of evidence to overcome. We do have a small mystery in the United States of America. The 18th Space Control Squadron lists the booster as having instead hit the Earth's atmosphere in October 2015, almost a year after launch. But, as Gray explained, Joanne, but the only trajectory data that had been provided shortly after launch. And that's all they had to work with. Their re-entry date is a prediction year ahead of time, and it's not particularly meaningful. That's what they said, Joanne, if you weren't paying attention, which I know you're not. You're wheezing, you know? But the best I can tell, this particular error didn't involve tracking data. He told Outer Space, I think it's just involved confusion about two similarly named missions. Okay, like Chang'e 5 and Chang'e 5 T1. It's like just the same thing, but just a T1 at the end, like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And sent the prototype lunar sample return capsule on a journey around the friggin' moon. Look when they're doing it, and they got the moon deal. Chang'e 5, President Xi-hole's on the line. He's watching. Oh, President Xi. No, President Xi-hole. We all know it. You know it. The American people know it. We're doing it. Basically, I don't think 18 SPSCS tracked the object much after launch, Gray said. If they had, they probably would have posted updated trajectory data. He said that with a freaking snide, you know what I mean? He's like really, really obnoxious, If the re-entry computation is based on just that initial tracking data, with no further observations taken into account, it's not going to be any good, Gray said. You can't run on orbit for an object of this sort out a year and get anything meaningful. Also, Joanne, I'm freaking overreading this one. Let's move forward. I'm done. I want to talk about that dumb freaking, who cares? It could be an alien craft. That's what I really thought. I was like, okay, it could be, if nobody wants to take credit for it, could it be an alien craft? Could be. Never know. Guys. Wow. You come down, see that, the guy's story. Mysterious repeating, fast. Where you burst, you traced. The unlucky part, deep space. All right, so this is pretty crazy. We're going to get into a little alien stuff, I think. Maybe. You never know. Mysterious repeating fast radio burst traced to an unlikely part of deep space. Space. Joanne! You're supposed to do an echo. The signal surprised astronomers and may have originated from a unique or unusual cosmic object. Joanne, you're not scrolling? You're not doing a teleprompter for me? I can't get a teleprompter. You come down here to do the work. You come down here to read the friggin' news. And Joanne, wheezing it up. You guys hear it. It's so loud. Oh. Right? It's like you're walking through the streets of Calcutta. Yeah. Whatever, Joanne. You keep doing it. I know you're trying. She says she's trying. I don't believe it. It's so loud, guys. I'm having a hard time doing the show. Yeah. Anyway, guys, the markets, they're falling. They're falling like Joanne's blood pressure from the humongocarditis. Dow falls more than 460 points as Russia-Ukraine worries sinks sentiment. They called Putin for an input on his side. He said, yes, we're going to destroy Ukraine. No, can't do that. Stop doing a Boris Yeltsin. I don't want you doing a Boris Yeltsin. You be a freaking, be a Putin, go be Putin in some heart instead of Putin in the death. We're not asking you to go Putin, all kinds of negativity into the world. I'm Putin in the negativity. No, you're not. Go Putin the work of love, I'm out there. I decided to go Putin a little heart instead. If you Putin a little heart instead of Putin in death, Putin in hatred, yeah. Some people are out there Putin in all kinds of negativity into this world. They're on TikTok. They're Putin it out there. I just wonder, do you understand what you're doing? What you're doing to people? You're putting them in a really, really weird position when they're trying to figure out how to be happy on a daily basis. And you just keep putting it on. Keep putting it on over and over. You're putting it on like it's a freaking, chocolate syrup on ice cream. Oh, I like it. No, Joanne, we know you like it, Joanne. Right, guys? But when you're Putin it on your Sunday, but you're also Putin in a lot of negativity. You can relate to Vladimir Putin when you do that. But a lot of people, they're not willing to understand how much of their like daily is affecting the universe, you know? It's all about what you're Putin out there. What's that, Joanne? No, I know you're Putin in a lot of, additional work to keep that wheezing down. I get it. But I got to tell you, I'm Putin on a new story. Wall Street attempted on Wednesday to rally failed with stocks closing broadly lower on continued worries about the likelihood of an imminent invasion of Ukraine by Russia, Joanne. And it happened today, apparently. We're here, dude. Got to find out about it. Got Putin. He's Putin in the missile brigade. Oh, we don't need a brigade. Why is he Putin in that type of brigade? Why is he doing it? You don't want to be in a room either, and tell him that you have a different idea on where he could be Putin his efforts, I'll tell you where you could be Putin your efforts, and it's not in military force, It's diplomacy. You should be Putin your heart out to the world, Vlad, Diplomacy. There's nothing like putting this world back together. Nothing like it. What's that? Oh, Joanne said, except pudding. I always call it because of pudding. Putin. She's a pudding. I get it. Pudding is good, Joanne. I get it. Joanne, again, she's filling those freaking veins, clogging it up, Joanne, you do you. Okay, the Dow closed down 464 points. How does that affect you with your BB poo-poo supply? Inquiring minds want to know. It was a broad-based slide with 28 of the Dow's 30 stocks finishing in negative territory. Only oil giant Chevron and Johnson & Johnson ended the day in green. Energy was the sole market sector to finish with a gain. Joanne, speaking of gain, how many more pounds did your heart gain today? Hot air balloon carditis. Oh, it's lighter. Joanne says it's lighter because now it's got the, propane / helium effect. I didn't know that. Thank you, Joanne, for educating me in this moment of the Renaissance Man Show. We're doing it. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ fell 1.58, 7.65, respectively. And the Dow and NASDAQ posted fifth straight day losses. What are we doing, Joanne? You got fifth day of losses? Oh, no, I know you didn't have a fifth straight day of losses, Joanne. I was talking about the stock market. Not you and your humongo. I get it. The S&P 500 is now about 12% below its all-time high. You know what that says, Joanne? That puts the index into correction territory, more than 10% below the recent peak. Joanne, I don't like those words. Correction territory, Ukraine, Russia, Putin in all kinds of negativity. Definitely not Putin a solution out there, I'll tell you that. Yeah. Investors are worried about the possibility that oil could spike even higher if there is a long, drawn-out conflict in Ukraine. The United States and Europe have already responded with sanctions against Russia, and that could damage the global economy. At which point, Putin said, "Is that all you're Putin on me? You're putting some sanctions on me? I'm putting my best on the front line. We're going to war. You can't do that, I just want to get through the day. How about putting your heart out into the world and let people know you care? You are the ruler of a land we call the USSR. I still call it the USSR, okay, Vlad? But when you're out there putting fear into the world, putting a negative message on everybody, at that point, I'm putting my... Joanne! Stop telepromptering me. It's Putin, not Putin. Putin. I'm putting my faith in God. I'm not Putin in Putin. No. He's out there just doing a Putin thing. He's Putin in the work. He's just being a Putin, I'm refuting Putin. That's what I keep saying. We're getting bumper stickers. Joanne, let's do refuting Putin. Hold on. Refuting Putin. We're writing a song too. When you're refuting Putin, you're refuting Putin. Yeah, you gotta be Putin in the mother. In work, yeah, Putin in the work, Putin in the work, Putin in the work, Putin in the work. Gotta put in the work, mother. Putin the work, Putin in the work. Yes, I got to say it. Got to put it in the work. Got to put it in the work. I got to say it. I got to go. I got to put it in the work. I got the missile brigade. Go now. They got to take the Ukraine on the ground. I got to kill them. Yes, I'll take it over because I am Putin. It's mine. I take it. Take it. Yes. Oh, yes. I put in my thumb and taking it and say it's mine. And make a cookie. I eat. Yeah, I put in my hand in the cookie jar. I got the cookie jar. I put it in my hand. I take in the cookie. I eat this cookie. Oh, you didn't know I speak English. Vladimir Putin. He put in the Joe Biden to test. Is he able to stop the Putin? I put in the challenge out there. You start the war? Well, okay. I drink vodka. You going to kill? I'm putting my foot down. Nobody wanted him to be putting his foot down, you know. When you start putting your foot down. We're refuting Putin. It became like a hit, you know. Still talking about it. Wasn't it the Mama and Papas? Joanne, did the Mama and Papas cover that one? Refuting Putin? I forget who that was. Oh, Three Doors Down. Sorry. I was wrong. Joanne corrected me. Sometimes you need a Joanne in the background to remind you that it was definitely not who you think it was. You're dealing with a Three Doors Down, you know. Okay, Joanne, that's enough. I don't need you to wheeze. God freaking mighty, right? I'm just getting frustrated with the wheezing. It's just where I'm at. Next story on the list, Joanne. What do we got over there? Pull it up. Telepromptering. Oh, look at this, Joanne. And tell me if this makes sense, because I'm really having a hard time on this one. Trucker convoy headed to Washington, D.C. to protest COVID mugaboos and rolls out of California. California. I love that lady in the background. Holy cow, she should be the new Statue of Liberty, right? I want a new Statue of Liberty. It's a lady in purple. And when you can't put the lady in purple, oh, why aren't you seeing it? Hold on. Look at that lady in purple. That is a proud Statue of Liberty lady, right? I'm thinking that she should be our Statue of Liberty lady. I don't know. Bottom line, she's doing it. She's ready to go to war. Look at her. Oh, God bless America. Yeah, we know. I know. I have the Patriots Bible here, 1775. And she's doing it right there. She's ready to go. Look at, she's ready to march. Somebody start with a drum beat. She's going Indian on all of a sudden. She's like, going like rain dance. Bottom line, guys, several hundred people gathered Wednesday morning in the Mojave Desert to send off a group of truckers driving cross country to protest the Civ 19 Amanda Ruse. And supporters posed for selfies and gifted homemade cookies that Putin stole and ate, you know, and other items to dozens of truck drivers who intend to travel to Washington, D.C. The convoy is similar to the ones whose defiant blockades have shut down border crossings to the north as trucks rallied in Canada over the nation's response to the pandemic. So I just want to ask you guys something, okay? Right now, haven't all of the mandaboos, the mandates been shot down in the United States? I'm trying to figure it out. Like, I understand Australia, I understand Paris, I understand Canada, but here in the United States of America, do we still have a mandate? I thought we didn't. I thought they had shot that down in the Supreme Court. If we didn't, then maybe there's some point here. But if we if there's no mandate here in the United States, but then we should not be doing this, because what's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of bad actors jumping in on there and creating issues, and then it's going to make it look like something it's not. This is what they do every single time there's a crisis. They use it to their advantage. So, someone know that answer? Do we still have a mandate here, or is it over? I thought it was over. I thought they were like, we can't mandate it, and plus, so if we're not mandated, we should not be having our own convoy. There's no point, because we already have no mandate. To do it for other countries makes no sense. Let them do their own thing. We have enough things being thrown against the conservative party, and everybody's called like completely off the wall right wing for supporting freedom. You don't want to start doing convoys across this country if we don't have a mandate. I just want to know if we do. Does anybody know? I thought they had shot it down the Supreme Court, but I could be wrong. Somebody give me that answer. Okay. Yeah, it was a game. Like, that's the thing. There wasn't even it was just a press release originally. That's why I was like, I don't know why people are, But at the end of the day, I just want to find out, that's a very important thing. 2 prosecutors working on Manhattan's DA Trumperoo case. The organization the probe resigned. They resigned, guys. 2 top prosecutors working on the Manhattan District Attorney's criminal investigation into the Donald J. Trump organization winning big league. Yeah, so to resigned Wednesday. No, it was because I'm winning big league. They're like, I'm not going to work for a guy when he's winning big league. We're going to take him down a guy who's winning big league. Leaving the years-old probe without 2 key players, as it appeared to have entered a crucial phase. Carrie Dunn and Mark Pires submitted their resignations to the DA's office. Daniel Filson, a spokeswoman for the office, told CNN in a statement, adding that we are grateful for their service. The investigation is ongoing, Filson said. We can't communicate further. The New York Times first reported the prosecutors' resignaciones, and CNN has reached out to Pomerantz and Dunn for comment. The resignations come as the new Manhattan District Attorney, Alvin Bragg, has indicated that that he had doubts about moving forward with a case against the former president. Oh, hold on, Mama. Oh, my goodness. Did you hear that? Everything you hear in the news today is that Trump is days from being indicted. Right? Listen to this. The resignations come as the new Manhattan District Attorney, Alvin Bragg, has indicated to them that he had doubts about moving forward with a case against former President Donald Trump. The Times states, conversations with people with knowledge of the matter. One person familiar with the investigation by the district attorney told CNN that Bragg appeared disinterested in his office's investigation into the Trump organization while he was battling bad press stemming from a memo. Of course, they make it about some other reason why he's not looking at Trump and that he's trying to cover up something else. These people are classic. Oh, well, it's because it's the Central Negativity News Network. A case had been harmed by the team by carrying it out and leaving, but that doesn't mean that's the end. I'm done with reading about this chooch, guys. I hate the CNN. They're just terrible liars. Guys, you're not going to be able to see what's here fully, but we're going to talk about my 2 favorite mics right now. And there's a story behind this one. Listen to this. Mike Tyson, who once brawled with Michael Jordan in a bar, admits unknown fact about their connection. This is interesting. I never knew about this. Mike Tyson and Michael Jordan are 2 of the biggest athletes in the world in terms of stature and legacy. They were both feared in their prime as athletes. MJ had an aura and personality which could make anyone in the world feel intimidated, whereas Mike was branded as the baddest man on the planet. The acclamation, Joanne, it's dark in the back. Can you stop doing a scrolleroo? The acclamation was not in vain, as he did prove himself as the baddest when he established himself as one of the best in his early days. People often underrated Tyson when he was a young boxer. He then proved his doubters wrong when he became the youngest world heavyweight boxer at the age of 20. Jordan and Tyson were arguably the most successful and famous athletes of their time, Both of them revolutionized the sport they played. Michael Jordan influenced the game by his style, quality, and dominance, and Mike Tyson was not the biggest in build, but he still achieved the success his talent deserved. In an appearance of Club Shay, Mike Tyson revealed a secret about he and Jordan. The host, Shannon Sharp, asked, what's the favorite... I can't read this part. Who is his favorite in basketball? And he said, Michael Jordan. I think you like Jordan because his name Mike and your name is Mike. And he said,
Now, Mike moved his head. We were born in the same hospital.
The two then laughed. Imagine the two legends of our generation were born in the same hospital. The chances of two babies from the same hospital growing up to become the greatest ever in their respective sport is actually astounding to think about. Mike Tyson almost got into a fight with MJ. Everyone knows that Mike's ego fueled him. According to Tyson, his trainer, Customato, he encouraged Tyson's ego to make him confident and perform at the highest level. However, he was never able to turn it off, due to what he called an adversarial attitude toward anyone he sensed was a threat. The term the baddest man on the planet was not only because of him being the toughest to beat, but also due to his dark phase at a time. A similar thing happened on an incident with MJ, Michael Jordan, where the boxing legend lost his cool. The two legends had one more thing in common than being born in the same hospital. They both dated the same woman, Robin Givens. Didn't know this. After Michael and Givens separated when Mike and Givens separated in 1989, Givens dated Michael Jordan. This did not sit well with Mike Tyson, who confronted MJ at a meeting of some kind in Chicago. He accused MJ of stealing his wife and used some rather harsh language to make his point. Jordan looks like he's just seen a ghost. I know you messed with her, Mike says. You can tell me. Jordan, it's obvious he just wants to get up and run. He wants no part of this, and that's what he did. He got out of there quickly, said Rory Holloway, Mike's trainer and manager, who tried to stop him from doing what even this much, but he could not. Although it was a good thing that Michael walked away and diffused the situation. It would have been a bad sight to see two legendary athletes get into a brawl, but it sure is nice to see Mike Tyson talk about being born in the same hospital as Michael Jordan and having a laugh about the decades after the confrontation. So interesting stuff about Mike Tyson, Michael Jordan. Guys, this is interesting, and there's so much truth to this. Sleep sofa, bumbling Biden, Joey Futon, and his officials fear that Elon Musk would embarrass the president at the White House. The White House is reportedly worried Elon Musk would be a bad guest if invited to meet the president, a target of frequent mockery by the Tesla founder. Some of Biden's top advisors have purportedly waned or warned against inviting Musk to the White House over fears he would say something to embarrass the administration. The billionaire has repeatedly slammed the White House for failing to mention Tesla while addressing or discussing its plans for major nationwide investments in electric vehicles. Oh my goodness, JB said Jordan yearless would have been bad. Absolutely. Biden and his close advisors are said to be irritated with Musk's public criticism and have no immediate plans to invite him to the White House for future events. Oh, let's see. Musk responded with a pair of roll on the floor laughing emojis and suggested his attendance at a future meeting shouldn't be a cause of concern. They have nothing to worry about, Musk said. I would do the right thing. Jen Psaki and others have suggested that Tesla has been snubbed from business events because the company factories aren't unionized. In January, Biden met with the CEOs of Ford and General Motors, which promotes his Build Back Better bill, which is communism, and claimed that companies like GM and Ford are building more electric vehicles here at home than ever before. That snub appeared to infuriate Musk, who referred to Biden last month as a damp sock puppet. He's a damp sock puppet in human form. Look, I'm here doing the Tesla car and the Tesla, phone, and I'm a super genius in, Starlink. And I got the president of the United States doesn't, invite Tesla, like I'm the one who brought electric vehicles to life. Is it Ford, really? It's like, it's just,
we brought Tesla from $0 to the most popular electric vehicle on the planet, and he doesn't mention Tesla. He has GM. Do they even have a car? Electric? Oh, it's the Volt. Yes. That's what Tesla, he's done. He was done. It got to the point, hilariously, when no one in the administration was even allowed to say the word Tesla. The public outrage and media pressure about the statement forced him to admit that Tesla does, in fact, lead the EV industry. Oh, my goodness. Biden went several months without discussing Tesla's leading position in the electric vehicle market, only recently mentioning Musk's company in the first time. February 8th, the president referred to Tesla as our nation's largest electric vehicle manufacturer. Tesla is our nation's largest electric vehicle manufacturer. Then I pooped my diaper. Double diaper. Triple diaper. He's wearing a triple today, Joanne. Musk argued that Biden pointedly ignored Tesla at every turn. He was like touting his other companies, and just despite the tensions, downplaying the severity of the rift. The White House is asserting the notion of the feud is not quite right. I have nothing against Biden. I've nothing against Biden otherwise, apart from the general, concern about the deficit spending, which would apply to president has actively supported the Obama-Biden election. I'm going English. It's not him at all. A White House spokesperson praised Musk in a statement and saying, whatever, it's over. We did it. We're moving on. Joanne, last story of the friggin' night. Can we get to it? What are we doing? This is actually not a story. This is us connecting. This is us having a little thing about stats. 50 totally crazy statistics you won't believe are real. You guys want to hear a few of them? Like, for example, we started this one yesterday. The average drunk driver drives under the influence more than 80 times before being arrested the first time. What? Really, Joanne? Joanne said she concurs 84 times. Then she got nailed. Joanne, you shouldn't have done it. Fewer than 2% of NCAA student athletes go on to the professional level. Zabrowski, when he's here, he went into the professional level as a Grammy winner, a professional Grammy guy. So, 1/3 of adults still sleep with a comfort object. You guys, are you one of those people? You doing it? You got a comfort object? You're holding a bear. You got a binky. You got a freaking pacifier still. You're that guy or girl. The average American generates nearly 4.5 pounds of trash each day. A biggity boo, Joanne. You're up to 15 pounds. No, I mean an extra just from this last hour. Let's see. Over the past century, Michael has been the most popular male baby name 44 times. That's a really stupid fact. The global rate for washing hands after using the toilet is under 20%. So that means that, roughly 8 out of 10 of us didn't, wash our hands after going to the bathroom. Joanne! Do you have a sanitizer? Americans read for personal interest for 10 minutes or less per day. That's a scoop, I know, right? Think about that, guys. 20%. So it means like 2 out of every 10 people are washing their hands. How do you not wash your hands every time you get out of the bathroom? That's the craziest thing in the world. Ugh. Oh, let's move on. Americans read for personal interest for 10 minutes or less per day. That's factual. More than 36 million U.S. adults cannot read above the 3rd grade level. That is a very sad fact. The average American eats nearly 13 pounds of ice cream per year. Joanne. Oh, goodness. 1 in 7 Americans receive food from a food bank. Wow. That's a big number, 13%. Even higher, 13.7. More than 500,000 people in America experience homelessness at night. What? What? We collectively receive about 2.4 billion robocalls per month. That, I believe, is a low figure. It's higher than that. Fewer than a quarter of American adults meet U.S. guidelines for physical activity. I believe that one, too. Approximately 90% of people who suffer an out-of-hospital cardiac arrest die. Ooh, that's not good. We get an average of 0.5 pieces of personal mail per household every week. That's very, very, yeah, that's true. I don't get much personal stuff ever. Farmers and ranchers make up less than 2% of America's population, and nearly half of American adults will experience a mental illness during their lifetime. That is a big 50% of us. No good. Don't be in that 50. I told you, get to 51% happy and you're good to go. Number 18 on the list, nearly a quarter of rural Americans say access to high-speed internet is a major problem in their community. That's not good. On an average day, only 19% of American men do housework, as compared to 49% of American women. The average person could fill as many as 23 2-liter bottles with the amount of saliva they produce in a month. Wow. The United States has collected more than 1,100 gold medals in the history of the Olympic Games. There are more than 6,000 dogs registered to come to work with the Amazon employees at the company's Seattle office. Wow. America's drivers cover a combined 2.6 trillion miles annually. 30,000 over here. Yeah. Movie theater attendance has more than doubled the attendance of all U.S. theme parks and major U.S. sports games. So basically, double the attendance as theme parks and sports games? Movie theater attendance and more than... No, I'm sorry, not anymore. This is old. That's 2018 numbers. Yeah, we're way... Buddy, we don't... Nobody goes to the movies anymore. Okay? No one's going to the movies. We watch it all at home. Millennials should probably consider implementing spending habits on avocado toast. 2 out of 5 Americans can't name a single freedom protected by the First Amendment. Freedom of speech. How much do you remember your high school civics class? Not much, apparently. 5 countries make up 60% of worldwide military. Less than 10% of U.S. population tuned in to watch the royal wedding in 2018. That's because who gives a freaking crap? Drake was streamed more than 8 billion times in 2018 alone. That is insane. I'll take like maybe 1,000 streams on my 170 songs. Whatever, dude. In addition to being Spotify's most streamed artist for 15, 16, and 18, Drake became the streaming platform's most streamed artist of all time with 8.2 billion streams in 2018. Ed Sheeran took the coveted title of most streamed artist in 2017. Avocados, Haas or Haas? Not in the Bible, but it's a good question. More than 15 million Americans still lack mobile LTE broadband. Guys, we're not going through anymore. I'm good. High school graduate will take around 100 mandatory standardized tests since pre-kindergarten. Whatever. I'm done. Done with the stories. I'm done with the, news. We did enough of it. No, Joanne, you're fine. The wheezing isn't that bad right now. Whatever. I do want to play you guys something because I need a bowl of cereal. Or something. I need something. So I'm going to put a piece of music on for you. And don't go anywhere. I want to say hi to you here on TikTok. I appreciate you guys. Ripped, how are you? And G2B is always good seeing you, my friend. Today I dropped a really funny clip. Thinking about popping it up for you. It's the Comedy News Extravaganza with Tony Danza. Not really Tony Danza. I'm just saying. Sometimes you'll get a Tony Danza deal going. It's fun. I like it. Man. Okay, so let me play you this. This is the news today is one big flocking joke. Yeah. By the way, guys over on TikTok, I love you. Head over to YouTube. Click the link above on my link tree because I'm about to play a clip. You're not going to see it. You're going to hear it. And I got to go grab a bowl of cereal. So I'm going to leave it. You're just going to be hearing it. But if you head over to YouTube, and in fact, if someone could just leave a note here on the bottom and say, head over to YouTube, to watch this, Mark went to get a bowl of cereal. Because I don't even know how to freaking type in comments here. Yeah, Renee too. Let's see. It is 12:30. I'm going to pop this on. I'm going to put a piece of music on, I think, instead of the comedy. Because it's long and... it's so crazy funny, though. I'm tempted. I'm going to put this shorter, but no, it's not long enough. That's not long enough to make it a freaking bowl of cereal. I'm going to deal with the dogs. You know what I mean? All right, I'm going to do something here. I'm going to start this, but I'm going to start it at a different point. I'm going to give you the link so you guys can watch all 22 minutes on your own, but I'm going to fast forward it to the news story because that's where it gets freaking crazy. The intro is the intro where I do a Joanne bits yelling at Joanne because she's a freaking the worst. And then after about 10 minutes, we get into these news stories. This one news story is just so crazy. Let me pop it on for you, see what you think.
New sales event since 1928, Rhode Island's most award-winning car dealer.
YouTube it.
Paul Bailey's President's Day sales event is going on now.
Paul.
Vaping can deliver
Bailey.
toxic metals like nickel and lead into your lungs. That's metal.
Really?
In your lungs.
Thank you for
Coming to Lowe's. Sit back and relax. Enjoy the show.
guys.
Zabrowski, give me woo-hoo, talking about value.
All right, I'm going to fast forward this since it's clear I'm having issues there anyway. Let me move forward here till we get to the best parts. About 5 minutes in is a good start. Let's see.
Good old George, billionaire, yeah. Nobody understands. Like, they were like, oh, he's such a genius, financial genius. Nope. George Soros played Jabba the Hutt.
Yep.
Typecast. And then they also used him for Senator Palpatine. So they had a double-decker with Soros. And Joanne's 56. We found out that she, we did this bit the other day about Norfolk. If you guys didn't know about this, Norfolk's a very, very offensive name. Just think about it. Everybody's talking about, they got Norfolked up last night. You know what I mean? You're like, holy cow, they got Norfolked up. You're right. But the worst part about it was when we figured out that Joanne got Norfolked up, right? And she lost her Virginia. It was a really crazy thing because 56. I'm like, yeah, right. But she did. She got Norfolked up and she lost her Virginia. And most people, they're like, I'm trying to save my Virginia till a marriage. But Joanne, she lost it. She got Norfolked. I think that is possibly the worst name of a city and a state ever. I remember as a kid being like, Virginia. Like as a little kid, I was like, Virginia. And then I'm like, Norfolk? Are you kidding me? You got Norfolked and lost your Virginia? There's nothing worse than that. I said the other day that a couple people were trying to get away with like a little quickie. They're like, look, yeah, but I did it in the hiney butt, so it's okay. So I still have my Virginia. They got married and they still said they had the V card because they did the hiney butt instead. They were like, look, I was doing it. I'm down there. Look, sometimes when they're getting Norfolked and they're just like, I'm doing it. I'm going to do it anyway. I don't care what people have to say about it. Out at the parties, everybody's getting Norfolked up. They're doing it. They're drinking the Seagrams. Yeah, everybody's got the Tanqueray Kool-Aid. I got Snoop on the side. I'm doing it on the side. You know what I'm saying? Snoopy's doing it, right? And you're getting Norfolked up. And Joanne lost her Virginia. What is going on, guys? Renaissance Man Sunday night. Joanne lost her Virginia. Oh, my God. No, I know Zabrowski. I know you're a Christian. It's a little over the line, Zabrowski, to hear about Joanne losing her Virginia. I get it, buddy. But look, we have to, share what's going on with Joanne. She's got a lot going on between losing her Virginia, having the first humongocarditis on file. That was she came down. They had the Journal of Medicine here. They're doing like, we got to shoot this thing for the Journal. I was like, okay, how do you want to do it? Because that heart, it's a humongocarditis. By the time they got here, it was gigantocarditis. Whoo! Bad news for Joanne. Her father, George Soros, wouldn't do a thing to help. Wouldn't lift a friggin' Soros finger. No, he's so sorrowful, But then you got Joanne back there. She's a fighter, kind of like her father. And she's like, I'm gonna go and get another bugaboo.
She's up to, I think, 18 right now, guys. World record. She got a world record. Zabrowski's got a Grammy. She's got a world record for Bugaboos. And also, you know, she's just wheezing it up, right? What the frig with the wheezing? No, I know, Joanne, you're trying. Whatever. Guys, we're on YouTube, by the way. That's where the show is live for 1,147 days in a row, where the green screen actually makes sense. I got this little thing here so you could see that I've been here for 1,147 days in a row, just waiting for you to find this guy who shows up every night for 2+ hours acting like a crazy person. There's no script here. I talk about Soros and Joanne. Joanne's my fake... You know, I'm alone here. 1,147 days in a row of insanity. I just talk to nobody. I make up comedy in the moment, and I just pretend that I have a freaking assistant named Joanne. I forget, Zabrowski's a real person. He played drums. When I did this track, that's him playing the drums. At the end of that song, he goes, woohoo! And that became the part of the show. Every freaking day for the last 1,147 days, he lights the show off the freaking planet. And all of a sudden, we're in the clouds. We're doing it. TikTok style, yelling at Joanne, Spirit-filled believer. She's calling in, doing a chatteroo. Look, when you're doing it, Zabrowski gives a woohoo. Joanne's wheezing. What's that? No, Joanne, we can hear you loud and clear. She says, is this any better? No, it's not any better. You know? So, guys, I think we should get into the news now. Joanne, what do we got for the news? Let's pull it up. No, get the teleprompter going. I'm ready to go now. She's like, can I grab a tea first? No tea. You get the tea later. I'm in the middle of doing the news. Bird flu detected in backyard flock in Long Island, New York, officials say. Guys, it's like we're getting to the end of one Plandemaroo. And guess what's coming around the friggin' corner? Oh my goodness. Wasn't it Bill Esquire Gates the third that came out just like 3 weeks ago? We're going to have another Plandemaroo. Right? Or was it Dr. Weasel Fraugy that said, it looks like we're through this one, but there's another one on the horizon. What is going on, Dr. Weasel Fraugy? Doing it? No, Joanne, I know you trust him and love him, and that's why you really appreciate your humongocarditis. You know, some people would be hurt and upset they got a humongocar, you know. But, you know, Joanne, she's actually saying that Fauci did her right. You know, she took the medical guidance. She got the bugga boosters. How many? 18? 18. Got 18 bugga boosters, you know? And now, I forgot, Joanne. Hot air balloon carditis took hold last week. We're trying to anchor her. You know, lately I got her anchored down to the surface of the earth. You know, if you don't do that and you got Joanne, hot air balloon in it, you know, going through first floor, second floor, out the roof, where'd she go? Up? You ever seen the movie Up? Mm-hmm. Joanne, she's starring in the next Up 2. Up to what? Where are you going? Joanne, what are you up to right now on the heart weight? What are we doing? You know, guys, if you want to donate to Joanne's Heart Fund, remember it's www.gofundme.com/Joanne from the Renaissance Man Show's massively ridiculous heart that needs to be excised and replaced with a megalodon heart immediately by Menon. Leave that last S off for savings if you really know what's good for you. Yeah. Some people don't know what's good for them. And then they're like, me. I just pay full price. What do you got excess funds? You're sitting here, you CV19, dealing with the Plandemaroo excess funds? Oh, I'm a crypto guy. You bought BB Poo Poo, didn't you? You know, you do a crypto movie. Everybody gets on board. Everybody goes and buys BB Poo Poo thinking like, guys, Peter Bishop was friggin' doing it. Yeah. Guys, if you haven't seen The Wolf of Crypto, it's live on YouTube, free to watch. And The Wolf of Crypto is about a genius of a salesman named Peter Bishop. He's on the sales floor doing it. You know, he's making the phone calls. He's pulling rugs. Oh, you give me $150K. I'll make you 1.5. Hold it. Put it in my wallet. Gone. You know, it was a good day for Peter Bishop. You got to check it out. Lots of phone calls, a lot of broken hearts. We did it. We dropped it. So CV's done? Oh yeah, no, mask ain't taking the mask off. Oh, okay, we're good now. Everybody's back to normal. No, bird flu detected in backyard flock in New York. Guys, there's a bird flu. Yay. Highly pathogenic avian influenza was detected in a non-commercial backyard flock of birds in Long Island, federal authorities confirmed Saturday. Samples from the flock were tested at Cornell University Animal Health Diagnostic Center and confirmed at the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Animal, and Plant Health Inspection Services laboratories in Ames, Iowa. New York officials quarantined the site in Suffolk County. There's another one. You got Suffolk. Are you kidding me? Joanne, you got Suffolk? I can't believe you got Suffolk. What are they doing? I was there and all of a sudden I got Suffolk. Oh man, that's terrible. In your county? Oh, man, what are we talking about over here? What, Joanne? You can't go there. 2022? Oh my god, I can't even do more on that one. And the birds are affected properties. They'll be depopulated to prevent the spread of the disease. No, I know, Joanne, you want me to do more. I can't. I can't do more on getting Suffolk in, in the county. Like, that would be a bad one to go on, You're there, getting Suffolk in the county. Bad news, New York officials quarantined a site in Suffolk County. Oh my goodness. And the birds of affected properties will be depopulated, they say. Guys, we're doing it. The virus has been detected at commercial turkey farms in southern Indiana, a flock of commercial broiler chickens in Kentucky, and the backyard flock of mixed species birds in northern Virginia, Joanne, Suffolk, and Indiana's Norfolk. Indiana officials confirmed Saturday the virus was detected in a fourth commercial poultry flock. Joanne, there's a fourth flock? What the flock? Are you kidding me? Down there getting flocked up? Unbelievable. Look, when you're doing it and all of a sudden you realize you got flocked, that's no good. I was there, went down to the poultry, commercial poultry flock, and I was flocked. I didn't want to be a part of that flock, What the flock? When I'm there, you make me I'm there, part of the flock. I don't know. I don't want to be in that. I want to be on the sidelines, non-flocking it. When you start being a part of the flock brigade, that is the whole thing. In '84, the flock brigade was bad news. They walked down the streets of Memphis. Woo! Like, what the flock? You looking at me? That was no good down in Memphis getting a flock. You got flocked up. Moo! Guys, you're there, Joanne. No, Joanne, don't. Don't. I get it, Joanne, that you think that I'm saying, no, I'm not. You need to clean your ears out. I said you got flocked up, okay? It's they had made t-shirts. You didn't get one? I thought you had one on last week. With the flock, that was a good one. They came out with, and there was a guy on the cover who was like, and they're like, what the flock? They sold millions. The Flock Stars, when they came out with their own hit, woo! The Flock Stars were up there with the Jackson 5. I don't know if you guys remember them. They came out with the biggest hit of all. It was banging it out with those motherfuckers. Oh my goodness. Flock Star, right? When they were doing it, the Flock Stars came out, and they were so good that Sheena Easton stopped in her tracks, and she gave them their first gig. You're opening up for Sheena, the Flock Stars. Double platinum, is that first hit they came out with. Get the flock out of here. It was a banjo classic. Yeah. Most people didn't know that banjo was a rockin', instrument until Bella Fleck as a youngster played Get the Flock Out of Here. That was cool. So cool. Future Man came out playing. That was pretty wild stuff, Every once in a while, you remember the time that you spent in the Flock Nation. TM. I always forget I have to say TM after that. Flock Nation, though, we were part of that Flock Nation. and everybody joined around. They gathered, like wings. We called them wings. We're gathering our wings, and we did this chicken dance. We had to do a chicken dance in a circle. And then there was a guy who always wanted to be the guy in the middle of and do his own, There's a beatboxer in the flock, what the flock? And these guys go, and then there's one guy in the middle, he's got to get his flock on, right? And he's doing it. He's there. He's breakdancing around, Well, yeah, I got down on that motherfucker. And then he's doing, and then he did the, one where you fall on your knee and do a spinaroo. He came back up and he's like, that's how we do it in his mother, and he was getting down, flocked up. The whole play thing was flocked up at the end of it. Like we were trying to figure out if it was meant to be as much of a flocking disaster as it ended up being, but it for sure was really flocked up. I mean, sometimes when people ask me how flocked up, I'd say, I'm 1 to 10. It's a flocking 10. You know what I mean? Like you got a full flock. You're flocked. Like you completely filled the ammunition up. You got every single chamber filled. Filled up and ready to shoot that flocking thing as at anything you want, and you're just gonna put it out there. Just me and my flock. So that's what's going on over here, guys. They're doing a flock. What's that, Joanne? No, Joanne, you can't join the flock with your caribou. She gets 2 caribou a day at 11 o'clock. Joanne, 1 minute. 1 minute, Joanne. 1 minute. You're getting your friggin' flock. Guys, we're doing it. They got a flocking 15,200 birds. Let's get into this one, Joanne. Can we get back? Can you scroll back? Doing a teleprompter. I'm trying to get into it over here until I got, kind of sidetracked. You're doing it. Trying to get your flock on. And you saw that dancing going on in the middle of the circle. Everyone's they're holding their wings. They're doing the chicken dance. The guy went in the middle, Dominique. And Dominique's got those skills. He starts gyrating and doing the weird things where he's like, liquid water. With the beatboxer in the background, chicken dancing it. And you realize that this was the Flock Brigade. I'm part of it. I'm part of the Flock Nation now. I got to get a t-shirt. Joanne, can you do me a favor and get that order form out? I'm placing an order tonight for the Flock Nation, because when you do that, first of all, when you go to Suffolk and you get it in the county, it's no good. But then, on top of that, when you're part of that Flock Nation and you're bringing it at the end of the day, Joanne, it becomes less of a hack job and more of a, it's that moment where you're really proud of doing the flocking job. Like some people just want to do the job and they're tired of it. They go home and they take a nap. Somebody really likes to do that flocking job. You're that guy, girl, lady. What are you? Binary? Are you non-bi? I don't know what you're doing these days. Some days she'll tell me she's one thing and then the next day she's another. I say, Joanne, you just call it how you see it. Okay, I'll say whatever you want me to call it. I'm just going to call you... I don't know, humongo, giganta, hot air balloon carditis, number 2 with a, I'm talking about number 2 where you have like the small tube squared in the corner. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said the detection of bird flu did not present an immediate. Oh, this is what they said for the Cove, if you recall. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control said the detection of bird flu did not present an immediate public health concern. No human cases of the virus has been detected in the USA, according to the USDA. Oh, yeah, we trust them, right? Don't we, guys? We're totally trusting those people. 2022. Woo! I'll tell you what, we got a lot of flocking content out of that one. You're doing it. And I don't know what these stories are going to bring. This is live improvisation. That's what we do here. We take these stories and we roll with it.
Oh, man,
that's a good bit right there, guys. That's my newest comedy bit. And it just dropped earlier, so go watch it over on YouTube. And remember, this is a live show every day of the year. And officially, day 1,150 in a row. That is a ridiculous amount of days in a row. But you know what? when you're in the middle of creating and things like this happen, like what you just saw and things like this happen, you gotta show that
When I need a new
and continue to create.
You see, in 1899,
This is a story. Look over my shoulder.
in 1899, we dropped
Yes,
this
yes.
fool, this pandemic on the peoples. Everyone died. Oh, you can't get by. No, everyone got the COVID flu. We make it in a like the zoo. You have it when you're there in Russia. You have it with your vodka and you say, Babushka,
Babushka.
we have it together.
Get
we
together.
go okay. We have to get the bugaboo so we can be okay, me and you. Oh no, we drink vodka instead. Oh yeah, that make us fine.
Make you okay. Have the vodka every day.
Wonder what happened to Victor.
Victor.
He was the guy who had the plan to kill all of the
Victims.
They say, look, I saw Victor. He come through. He hide. He come in the trees. He come to kill us. 1, 2, 3. I can't get away. He's got the poison.
It's poisoning.
Poisoned us all.
Poisoned us all.
Poisoned his cat.
Poisoned his
dog.
cat.
He poisons his goldfish.
goldfish?
What is wrong with Victor? He crazy. He poisoned everybody.
Joanne, he poisoned everybody.
Victor have no friend, no.
No, he doesn't.
Russian flu, he got the chance to give it to me and you.
Give us the Russian flu.
1889,
Oh.
you have the Russian time. You make it the flu, you give it to you. You're going to fare better than any time. Look, we have immunity now.
Immunity, no?
This was all on purpose.
Yes.
You have to have an immunity so you could go get the other.
Oh.
I don't know what I'm saying now, Joanne.
Joanne! Yippity, yippity, you.
It's Victor, the Russian spy. Right,
Victor, we play. We go to Russia every day. Have a good time when we go out to the play. Have the Putin come. He go to the border. He going to take it his shoulder. Guys are killing you all. Got to take this land back. Look, Vladimir Putin. Putin in the work. Yes, Putin in negativity. Yep, I'm gonna take you down the Putin. Yep, you play the car. You gotta say the balaloka. You say that. Hey, Vladimir Putin. Yes, I put it in the work. But Babushka, how we drink vodka? You have lots of vodka. You do it. How not wrong, like Lionel Richie. You have it dancing on the ceiling. You there dancing on the ceiling with Boris Yeltsin. He's coming back from the dead. Have a vodka on his side. Tell Boris. No, Boris Becker. Tell him to come. I like him. Vlad Putin. Yes, Putin in the guitar work. Come at the balalaika to say. I have to twerk. Get the Miley Cyrus here too. What the Putin? What we talking about? What was that? Joanne. Was that Joanne? Sometimes Joanne's doing silly things. He's putting in the vodka. You know, sometimes you're doing it. Oh, guys. I guess we did it again, didn't we? 1,150 days in a row of craziness, of positivity, of live songwriting, live comedy, live news, connecting, and most importantly, forgetting about the negative world around us. We keep doing that, don't we, S. Coop, Bradley, Pamela, William? We keep separating from it, don't we? Doesn't it feel glorious? Doesn't it feel like home? Welcome home. Join the family, give me a follow. I will be back tomorrow, as I have been for 1,150 days in a row. Let me head over and just click on this to make sure I can say goodnight to each and every one of you. Bradley, my brother. Pamela, S. Coop, Trish Killian, Bobby Chizzy, my brother. William Martin, I appreciate you guys so very much. Bobby, you're going to want to go back to the beginning of this show. This is another crazy show. Oh, that bit we did about Putin in the middle, that's going to be a complete comedy for tomorrow. Now more people aren't driving on TikTok. I love you guys. It's a little late, but click on that link. We've been here for 2 hours now. But hit that page, and tomorrow I'll be back for more. Until tomorrow, fam and friends. Stacy, you rock. Thank you so much for being here with me. I love you guys. Remember, this is a community we are building out here of positive people. If you know any positive people out there, let them know there's a platform for them, designed for them. And let's gather as a force so strong nothing can stop the light. Remember that. Until tomorrow, fam and friends, it's Mark Pires. And it's Renaissance Man. I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Until then, you got to go away. You got to go away. See you tomorrow, fam.